It's all right. It's okay. It's all right. It's
Hold on. Martine, what are you doing?
practicing. We're working out our.
Exercise.
No, we're working out our steam. We're working off steam. Working off steam.
Working on.
Working off steam. Working off steam. Working off steam. Working off steam. Work it. You ever feel like life is just certain things in life is just too much, loaded with obstacles, obstacles. But I think that there's something to be said because the obstacle is the way, and right now the obstacles are these rollerblades. The obstacle's the way. And here we are once again for episode number 5 of FABULOCA at the one and only OhSoFabu-Lash Delray Beach, Delray's premier brow and lash studio. And today I'm here with, of course, our lovely Hannah, our lash stylist, and I myself, the brow queen, have a very special guest for you all. The long-awaited arrival, the one and only, the most amazing, the queen herself, the owner and founder of OhSoFabu-Lash Delray Beach, the one and only Belinda woman.
Thank you, Martine. Okay,
Good morning,
so
Hannah.
good morning, Hannah. Honey Hannah.
Honey
What
Hannah.
did you say? Honey
This is
Hannah?
Hanny.
Hanny. Okay, girls. As I was walking up the stairs for my guest appearance, obviously I couldn't miss the roller.
Yeah, we
what
were-
was that all about?
We were trying to let off some steam.
Yeah, just been a little.
Yeah,
It's up a little
yeah.
lately.
Sometimes we find ourselves in these situations, and you feel like
There's a
that
lot
first-
of the odd energy yesterday.
yes,
Yeah.
and then like a bit
Bills,
how do we?
bills.
So we're just like thinking. We just let out some of that steam. Let off some of that steam.
Well, did it work? That's what I'd like to know.
I think it did, but on another tip, I think that you have some really good information and really good advice for us today. So take a listen.
All right, so I actually switched it up. So I'm not going to be imparting advice. I'm going to be asking questions.
Let's get it.
So, but I want you to answer them with the first thought that comes into your mind, almost like we're playing a game.
Ooh.
Okay? So not a lot of
We need a buzzer.
thoughts.
Okay. No deep thought.
Just impulsive.
Okay, impulsive.
Okay?
Okay.
Hannah, how do you handle obstacles when it comes to perfection? Perfection with yourself.
Sometimes I just need to let go and just realize not everything can always be perfect, and that's just an aspect of life.
So do you mentally say that to yourself
Yeah.
when you're faced with an obstacle of
Yeah.
being perfect?
Yeah, I'll just tell myself not everything can always be perfect. Just do your best, do whatever you can do to make it as perfect as you can. That's
And
all
how
you
good are
know.
you at making that switch? Can you just something happens and then there has to be that switch to, okay, let me refocus my energy. Are you able to do that right away? Or has it taken practice? How long is it taking you, or does it take you some time?
Usually I can do it right away. I mean, when
good.
I was a kid, in my art class, they wouldn't give us erasers, so it taught us that you have to work with the mistake. You have to work
Okay.
with
That's a
it.
good point.
The obstacle.
The
You
obstacle.
have to work with the obstacle.
That's a great point. You got to
Okay.
work with the mistake.
Excellent. Second question,
Yes, ma'am.
Martine,
Ooh,
brow
okay.
queen.
Okay.
Fear.
Fear. That's a really good one. I think fear is a good thing.
Okay.
I think it's more of a good thing than a bad thing. I think fear allows us to, pushes us to overcome certain things. In other words, you have to take the fear. You have to use the energy of the fear. Am I sounding a little bit too existential? I don't think so. I hope not. But basically, I think that using that energy, because fear, it's an energy, it's an emotion, right? So you take that emotion, you use it, and you say, okay, I'm going to use this to make me stronger, and I'm going to conquer this fear. Because as they say, all warriors, all leaders, they all experience fear. It's just how you deal with that fear. Do you take that fear to let it push you down and destroy you and say, okay, it can't happen? Or are you going to take that fear and say, okay, fear, help me here. Let's move forward.
Okay, so in face it with the situation of fear, do you run in, do you stop, or do you backdoor?
Myself, in a situation of fear, that's a very good question because I can give you a very, very, very specific example. I won't go into detail though.
There was a moment in my life where I was faced with fear, and I literally jumped out of a first floor window. How do you like them apples?
Okay.
And
Any broken bones?
I did have a broken bone. I had a broken shin right here, so I got to plate my leg, but it was all worth it. And looking back, would I do it again? Probably not. But then again, you never know.
Okay. Hannah, lack of clarity. I don't want you to give it too much thought. If you don't have an answer, it's okay. I'll go to the next one. Lack of clarity. How do you deal with lack of clarity?
Take a nap.
Oh, I
Good
like
one.
that.
Restart.
Reset.
Reset.
What excellent answer.
You're good, girl. You better
Good
work.
one. Martine.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Making comparisons.
Making comparisons.
Come on, be real, be honest.
I used to do that a lot when I was younger. And I think that's a function of experience, life experience. So I've always been of the opinion that, and I always tell this to my children, you're not in competition with anybody. You're in competition with what you look at in the mirror every morning.
Okay.
So I don't abide by the, maybe what most people do, their way of comparing themselves. Was that what you asked me? Was it
Well,
comparing?
like comparing, yeah.
Comparing, yeah. So
Whether it be professionally, even
Yes.
with friendships,
Yes.
or with people who you come in
yes,
contact with.
I think it's good to be aware of the better things in life. In other words, if you have something around you that you find gives you a better feeling, more positive emotion, and someone is doing something better, there's something to be said for learning from people who do things better than you. That's why it's important to surround yourself with like really good people, intelligent people, creative people,
Yes.
and people that can do things that you can't, and that makes you better. That strengthens you.
So that reminds
But no
me,
comparing.
no comparing. So that reminds me of something that really impacted me last week when I came across a quote or the idea that I'm not competing with anyone else. I'm here to create.
Amen.
And when I started to really grasp the significance, it really doesn't matter what our lash competitors are doing or what our social media competitors are doing. What matters is that I create, and whether that's creating at the lash table, that's creating with relationships, or even with our team members.
Absolutely.
That's my job.
I
is
couldn't
to
agree
create.
more. And may I just add that I think all of us here are here to be creative beings. That's just my take on it.
Yeah.
I could be wrong. I don't know. But my feeling
when
is
I
that
stopped focusing on what everybody else was doing around us in our community, because there's some very talented people. There's some wonderful
True.
lash and brow studios.
True.
When I started to actually start to focus on what I was creating, I honestly, I completely forgot all about them. They never even entered my
Right,
mind anymore
right.
because my space was now more focused on what am I going to create today.
And that space is the space of a leader. Because leaders bring people together. They're not saying, oh, let me worry about this.
Yeah.
No, you have a vision. You have the energy, you have your focus, and that's where your energy flows. End of story. And then people come and they say, oh, I wanna, we really like what you're doing. So it's all right.
Okay, Hannah, last question.
Oh boy.
How do you handle the untamed inner voice? Little conversations that go on in your head.
I'll entertain them in my head.
Okay.
Like sometimes I might say a comment in my head, but I won't say it out loud.
I mean,
So do you have a conversation with yourself?
Sometimes in my own brain, say I'm working on somebody and they've got either really bad lashes. They're just like I'll tell them oh, are you cleaning your lashes? And they're like, oh yeah, I clean them every day. And I'm like, I can see that you're not. I'm just like, okay, well I just want to remind you to make sure that you're cleaning them. At least once a day. Maybe we should do it twice.
Yeah.
You just gotta keep it inside. It's okay to
Yes,
say it
you do.
inside, but just don't
Sometimes-
voice it out.
Okay, Martine, brow queen.
Okay.
Last
Hit me.
question. I'd like to know, how do you deal with boundaries that are not clear?
Boundaries that are not clear. Okay. That's a good question. I think that telling the truth is important.
Oh, can I stop right there?
Go.
One of my favorite Jordan Peterson
Yes.
quotes, my favorite, is the most
Preach,
courageous.
sister.
The most courageous thing anybody can ever do is tell the truth, because telling the truth will lead you on a journey
That is absolutely perfect.
that may require a lot of courage.
Yes. And I found that when telling the truth, even though when it's uncomfortable, I had a situation a couple of weeks ago where I was kind of kicking myself in the butt for not having lied, but not having voiced what I should have voiced on the spot. And it saves a lot of time and a headache long term when something is when you're experiencing something which you feel perhaps is not right, or if how would I put it? Avoiding telling the truth at any given time is a way of having long-term problems.
Because you always have to find a way to cover
Exactly.
up. Even if it was just a very gentle
Exactly.
fib,
Exactly.
you're still going to have to figure out a way to
Exactly.
cover it up if it comes
Yes.
back in your face.
So I think being honest and telling the truth is more important, even though in that given moment anybody might not like you, and everybody doesn't have to like you. It's okay. Not everybody has to think you're the greatest person on earth. Not everybody has to, but maybe they will, maybe they won't, and you gotta be okay with that.
But I think there's a difference though between, like there are people, and we've met people like this, and we've had probably friends or family members who just say, "Well, that's who I am. I
Right.
just say it, you know, as
No
You have to-
filter.
I mean,
no filter."
yeah, but you can be nice about
I
it.
think you
It
can have a filter and find a way to still be truthful.
Exactly.
It's just
Exactly.
about the way you word things.
Yeah.
I feel.
And the
You
presentation.
can be courteous.
So no texting. Oh dear
Right.
God.
Everything
Oh,
always
Lord.
gets.
Yeah,
no,
that is for me
misinterpreted.
the worst.
No, if you
Texting is
have
a-
if you have to be delicate in the way you're going to respond to someone, that deserves
Oh
a
my
phone
gosh,
call,
absolutely.
At the very
And
least.
text can be misconstrued,
Yes,
and
because I
it's
think
just,
you
no.
interpret it the way you want to,
Absolutely.
how you're feeling. If you're already anxious and upset or hurt about a situation and you text that to someone and you're waiting for their reply, well, you're already anticipating and waiting, and you're
Yeah.
going to respond.
You're already at a loss.
Yes, the way you're feeling.
Yep.
And that may not be how it was intended at all.
Or you'll
Pick up
read
the
their
phone,
text
people.
wrong.
Pick up the phone. No texting.
Well, Belinda, can I just tell you, you were amazing, and your questions were amazing today, and I really hope, and I think that this has been beneficial or interesting for our listeners and viewers.
Okay,
And
well, let's wrap it up.
let's wrap it up.
The obstacle is the way.
The obstacle is the way.
And how are you going to implement that today?
Consciousness.
Okay.
Be aware of your situation at any given moment. In other words, live consciously, think with purpose. And then when the obstacle arises, you can say to yourself, how is this what's presented itself to me? How can I get through this, and how can I make it better, and what do I have to learn?
Okay. I like
Yes?
that. Yes. Thank you.
Okay, so once again, like,
share, subscribe, all that YouTube stuff that you know you need to do to help us out, help
Leave a
Martine
comment.
out. Leave a comment.
leave a comment.
Share,
Yes.
just share. Send
Yes.
it to your friends. Send it to a coworker.
Yes, and join us once again at FABULOCA next week on YouTube, direct from OhSoFabu-Lash Delray Beach. And come and see us for all your needs, lash and brow, ladies. See you next time.